Hi everyone, it's Dee's. Today I'd like to show you how I made these beautiful Christmas gift tags. They have little bells at the bottom and I still have to put the little ribbon or something over here, thread of some sort. So I made a few different designs with the middle here. That one's a Christmas wreath and I've used pink rhinestones. This one's Santa in his sleigh with the reindeer. Made two of those. As you can see, I've just done something slightly different with the rhinestones. And Christmas tree. And little songbird. At the back I've put to and from with the stamp, so I've left that nice and plain so people can write the recipient and who the gift is from. And I've just left the bell off of this one just so that I can show you how I put it on, which is pretty easy, just tie it. But I'm going to make one for you on camera, and I didn't want to fiddle with that, it'll be wet, so I thought I'd just leave this one off so I can show you later. So if you want to find out how I made these beautiful gift tags, keep watching. Okay, so the first thing you need is some cut out tags, which I happened to find from Ned's Emporium, and I think there's about 20 of them in this pack. They're all blank at the back and they were only a couple of dollars. So I don't have a die cutter myself, so when I come across things like this I always grab them. Now the only thing with this particular one is because it has the metal on the top, the metal look shine, it's very easy to get indentations on it. Now when can I show you my prototype that I just practiced on? If you look closely, there's a lot of nail marks, and yeah, I just had to learn to be very careful and gentle while I'm working on it. Another thing with the prototype is I tried to fancy up the back, but it wasn't working because I had to use glue. It just bent the whole tag. So as you can see, I've stayed with the design in the middle, the overall design, and I just added the rhinestones on the outside sometimes and then other times in the middle. So let's get started. And I'm going to put two out. So first thing is I'll just grab my tags and turn them around, just work out which is top and bottom. So I'm going to have the flatter side as my top and bottom. And I'll get my stamp pad. I have very basic tools, so I'm slowly trying to build up. I would love a die cutter one day. So I have a to and from stamp in this set. I've only got two sets actually. And just use my black stamp pad. Just going to stamp the to and the from. Oh, silly me putting them around the wrong way. Okay. And it's going to fall off. Maybe it's not clean enough. So just put the two at the top. These can get very messy. I haven't used them much at all, but I have already found that out. And the from a bit further down. Away before I make more of a mess. Okay. Now just while that's drying, the next thing we're going to do is turn it around, and I'm going to punch out these little designs in the middle of the tags. And what I did for that is I went through my box of wrapping goodies and found a whole lot of sticky tags, gift tags. And I just had a look at the designs that were there and picked from those. So I might punch out another bird and perhaps another Christmas tree. So I've got my little mini cutter. And you can see through underneath so that you can position exactly where you want to cut. We see it with the window out, making sure that you keep the head of the bird in, just positioning it where I want, and then I just punch it out. Now this is the biggest that I've got. I wanted to get a bigger one and they were $50, so I just can't afford that at the moment. So this will have to do. Or maybe I should do I think I'll do another Father Christmas Santa rather than the tree. Just doesn't leave me to work with a lot. And now this one's stuck in there. Okay, see, this always happens on camera. Everything that can go wrong will happen as soon as I press record. And yet I made all those the other day and everything went smoothly. Okay. Just as well I have a lot of these stickers. Okay, can. I'm just going to punch one more out just in case something happens with the others. I might do the tree. I'll get the star on the top of the tree. Okay. So I have a lot of those. Okay, let's see. It should be dry enough now. I'll just carefully turn them around, and as I said, I've got to be very careful with this top bit. Some glue ready. This has an adhesive back, obviously, which I'm going to use, but I'm just going to reinforce it with just the tiniest amount of glue. So just before I do that though, I'm just going to roughly measure the middle, top and bottom, sort of between these here. I want to measure the middle of that. Not about the 11mm mark for this, and that's where I'd like to punch the hole, and do the same at the top. And do the same on the other one. Just got to be a rough estimate. I do have to be careful not to punch the hole too close to the edge though, like I did on some of the tags. And I just used my stylus for that, so I don't have to mark it with anything. So in fact I will punch those holes in first with my little hole puncher. One. Doesn't have to be exact like I said, but you still want it looking reasonably centered. There we go. Now I'm just going to take the backing off of these little designs that I've punched out, or punched out, I should say. Okay, on this one, I've just missed his head, or the top of this head. It's just flat, which was at the top of the sticker. So, might get away with that, because I'm going to put the silver sort of chain, pearly chain around it. There's the bird. Just going to put the smallest amount of this clear glue. It's just a average craft glue, nothing special, just the smallest amount. And just centre that as best I can. Push that down. And you know what, I'm going to use the tree because that's annoying me. It's flat at the top there. So So Santa just wasn't meant to be. Just the smallest amount because I don't want anything warping. Push that down. Okay, so now the fiddly bit. This is why you make prototypes, because you'll know exactly what you need and the length of things according to what you're using. So I know by making these that I need 18 of these silver pearl things. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to cut 2 rows out. If you look carefully, you'll see some little hairy things on the top, so I always like to shave them off with my scissor. So I'll be cutting down 2 down. Cut 1 at a time off. And I find it's easier to shave when it's on the reel. So now I have more hairs there to cut down as close as I can to the little ball. You don't have to bother with that if you don't want to, but I like to. Okay. So this is the fiddly bit. Now I'm using E6000. I have an old tube here which is a bit thick. I've used this for the others that I've already made. But it's a bit messy. And this one's a new one which I bought on eBay. This is pretty strong glue. You don't have to do this, but I don't have... I have a glue gun, but I think you can get finer tips than the one that I've got. And it's just going to look messy for me, so I'm just going to use this. And all I do is use a toothpick. This is actually jewellery glue, or like suitable for metals. I got it from a lady who sells doll supplies. So I'm just carefully placing the smallest amount all the way around. Trying not to get my nails, dig my nails in that silver. Just do the same to this one and I'll be back when I've finished gluing. Okay, so let's do the first one, and all I'm doing is I'm just going to place it around where I've glued, just around the perimeter of the bird in a full circle. Trying to be careful not to smear the glue and make a mess on that lovely silver finish. And it fits perfectly. I'll just do the other one. Christmas tree. It's a perfect crafting day today. It's so windy and cold outside, even though spring has just arrived on us. So there's the Christmas tree. Oh, and I need to put a bit of glue on the end of this one, because that does not want to stick down. There we go. I'm just going to leave that. There's a bit of a... might take some of the excess. The more I fiddle with it, the more of a mess I'm going to make, which I just did. So that one might not look so nice now. See the little smear there? So that one I'm going to put the rhinestones next to the silver chain. Okay. Right, so next I got my hands on this diamond dust. I watch Happy Bird Crafts. She has a wonderful channel. I absolutely love her work, and I have similar tastes, and I get a lot of tips from her. I'll link her channel below. She uses the German glass glitter, but that is, you can't get it in Australia. There's a couple on eBay that you buy from overseas, and it's very expensive. I bought a little tiny pot of silver, and it cost me almost $40. But I came across this on eBay. I bought 4 of these. Scrapdragon.com.au, but they have sales on eBay. So this, I don't know if this is as shiny, but it's as closest that I'm going to get anyway. It's actually just ground up glass, so you've got to be careful with it. But I will be putting some of this clear glue in the middle and then sprinkling some of this diamond dust on it, and it gives it a beautiful icy effect, and it does glisten and shimmer. Don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it just gives it a beautiful frosty, shimmery, shiny look to it. So I'm just going to pour a little bit on each. Might need more. I'm going to use the back of this pencil, it has a little eraser on it. Just going to push that around right to the edge, and I will need more. Go away, bubble. Just bringing that all the way to the edge. Just wipe that excess off, and now I've got my little tray here. I don't want to waste any, so see how it glistens, it's beautiful. So with one of these, I absolutely threw it on. But if you just sprinkle some on lightly, I think you get a much better effect. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop it all in here. And just grab some as though it's a pinch of salt, and then just lightly sprinkle. Just make sure that everything's where you want. That's one. Don't need a real lot. Two. So I'll retrieve the rest of that later. Just leave it in there for now. So the next thing is to put the rhinestones on, and I'm using these beautiful pink rhinestones. They come in 3 sizes, larger, medium and a smaller one. And I'll be using the small and medium sized today. And I have this little contraption here, which is actually for nail art, and it helps pick up little rhinestones. Just makes it easier. So I'm just going to grab some and put them down here. I'm just going to make a little pile of the small and the medium. We don't need the big ones. Put them around the right way so I can pick them up with the, I don't even know what it's called. Looks like a little pencil. You can actually sharpen it. I bought this on eBay too, but it broke. But that's okay, it still does the job. I can hear it raining outside now at the moment. Hopefully we'll get the warm weather soon. Okay, let's see. Let's get those small ones. And the rest there. Okay, I'm going to use the E6000 again. You could use other glue. So we'll start with the bird, and seeing as I've stuffed up with the glue, I'm going to pop these close. And hopefully that'll cover that mess I've made up. Just need the smallest amount. Trying not to make a mess with that glue. This glue is sort of like a gel, so it doesn't run everywhere, but it can get stringy. So that's where you've got to be careful. Now one of the rhinestones slightly going over that little top hole punch that I've made, but that's not going to interfere with any ties that I'll be putting on there. If you're fussy, just make sure you punch the hole a bit further down, or further up, sorry. But then you've got to be careful not to get too close to the edge. So this one's very stringy, just doesn't want to let go. Also, if you use this glue, make sure you're in a ventilated area. It's quite strong, may affect some people. I just don't want these rhinestones falling off, so I'm using this glue. Like I said, it's more for metal, which is why I've used this. Even though it's plastic, the glue gun will be too messy, and I don't want that. Fit one more. Okay, so I can still see a bit of that mess that I've made, but most of it's covered up. So now, do the other one, and I'm going to place the rhinestones on the outside this time. do the corners first. So pop one there and one there. The big ones. I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see this bit a little better. Push that down gently with my finger. Now I'll do the little rhinestones. This gets very tacky quite quickly, or rubbery. Dot either side of that hole. Get the small one. Same for the bottom. And just 3 either side. One, 2, 3. And the last 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's it. That's that one. So they are basically finished. All that is needed is to put the bell at the bottom, like that. So all you do there, I bought 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, a dozen for $2 last year at Cheapest Chips. I have a gold packet as well. And all I did. I won't do these two because I don't want to ruin anything that I've just stuck on, so I'll just show you with this one. I'll just, it already has a little string here. I did want to put a jump ring on the end here and then just thread it through the bottom of the bell, but they have stuck glue in there which is holding the ribbon on, so I couldn't do that. So there's just enough, actually, let's see if there's one with a bit of a longer thread. There's just enough for me, I think they're all the same, to actually tie a couple of knots. So I just cut it at the top and making sure that the bow's going to face the good side. Tie this on. So I would leave all that gluing to dry overnight and the next day come and put all your ties on. So this is another little fiddly bit because you're dealing with a short bit of string or tie, whatever you want to call it. But it's not impossible. There we go. Now that wasn't too hard. I'm just going to cut that tie back. And there you have the bell on. And for the little tie at the top, I have some of this tinsel tie or whatever you call it. And I used that for my prototype. You may want to use something else, but whatever you have. I think I measured out 26 centimetres. And that way, that can be used to tie to a gift. You could just tie it in a double knot. You don't notice anything with being tinsel. So it's all ready to be used. The to and from. So I'm going to tie off the remainder of these and I'll be back to show you. Hi, I'm back. So I've put the little tinsel stringy bits on the end here. I did work out there's another way that you can tie them. Just halve the length of the string around and at the loop side just thread that through from the back to the front of the hole, thread some of it through and you've created a little loop there, and just pull the rest of that through that loop and then just pull. So I think that's a little bit neater, but either way it doesn't matter. With this it's tinsel and you're not going to see any knots or anything. The one thing I did realise is I lost one of the bells on one of the tags, so I'm going to have to reinforce that with glue because obviously the material, it's sliding quite easily, so just make sure that's done up quite tight, and then I'm just going to dab a bit of hot glue right at the knot there, or just some wet glue and just let it dry overnight. So yeah, it's not a difficult project. It's quite cheap and easy to make. The designs are endless with most crafts. So I hope you enjoyed this little Christmas gift tag tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.